In the previous discussion, we have seen sets. Okay, so we have started with what is set. Okay, we have started with what is set. We have seen the definition of set. Okay, then we have seen an example of set. Okay, two examples we have taken. Then we have discussed what was how to denote a set, how to denote the element of set. Then what was the symbol, we read the symbol as belongs to. We have seen all this. And we have seen some specific representation of set. Okay, for set of natural number, we specifically denote as capital N, and then for set of all integers, we specifically use capital letter Z, such that all these are used for other sets, some specific sets only. And then we have discussed, not we have not discussed yet. Then we will move forward to the next topic, which is representation of set. Okay, how to represent a set? Okay, in what ways we can represent a set? So there are generally basically two forms of representation. First is roster form. First is roster form, which is also called as tabular form, and second is a segmental form. Okay, in roster form, what we do is we just simply list all the elements one by one. Okay, so for example, let me take an example. Uh, let there be a set A. Okay, this is a set A, and it has element A, E, I, O, U. These five elements belong to the set A. Okay, this A set. Now A has only these five elements. Okay. Now in what we have done here is we have listed all the elements one after another, followed by comma. Okay. What we have done, we just listed all the elements. We have written all the elements. Okay. So this is the actually roster form. We have represented the set by using a roster form. Okay. Now we can also represent the set in the set builder form. And what we do in set builder form, basically we write the property of all the elements of the set. Now, what is the property of all the elements in this set? Now you can see all these elements are actually a vowel of the alphabets, 26 alphabets. Okay, these five are vowels. Okay, that is the property of this all the elements in this set. Okay, so what we will do in set builder form, we will write the property of the all this property of all the elements. Okay, a common property. Now we will write A is a set. Okay, now first what we have to do, we have to denote all the element using a variable. Okay, for example, let's say X. Now I have written X here. You can use any alphabets, like you can use M, you can use N, you can use U, whatever you want you can use. Okay, now what we have done here, we have represented all the elements using X. Now X is the element of set A. Okay, then we have to write this such that this colon is read to be is read as such that. Okay, now what we have done here, we have written the set A as usual. This is the set A. Okay, the set is not changing. We are just writing in another form. Okay, the core definition of set has not changed. What we have done here is we have written the set in another form, which is a set builder form. Okay, now what we have done is we will use the same brackets. Okay, these brackets, we will use this bracket, and then what we have to do, we have to represent all the element of the set by using a variable. Okay, we have to use a single variable which represent all the element of the set. For now, I have taken X. So X is the element of set A. Okay, now we have to write the property. After the variable, what we have written is we have written in colon. Okay, this colon is read as such that. Okay, so how we will read this? We will read this X element of set A, then such that. Okay, such that. After that, we have to write the property. What is the property? That all the element is a vowel. Okay, all the element is a vowel. That is X is a vowel. Okay, so X is an element of set A. X represents all the element. Okay, X is the element of set A such that X is a vowel. Okay, such that X is a vowel means every element in the set is a vowel. Okay, now this is actually another form of writing a set. Okay, this is basically roster form in which we have listed all the elements, and this is a set builder form in which we have written the property of all the elements. Okay, a common property of all the elements. Okay. Now, point to be noted that the elements of the set has not changed. We have just represented in another form. Okay. Now, this is basically roster form. Okay, this is basically roster form, and this is basically set builder form. So, example of a roster form is this, and example of roster form is this, and then example of the set builder form is this. Okay. Now we will take more examples to learn how to write roster form and how to write set builder form of a given set. Okay. For example, let me take another example. Uh, so let's draw a table so that we can identify. Now here I will write roster form. Here I will write roster form, and here I will write set builder form. Okay. This we will write all the sets in tabular form so that it will be easy to understand. Mm, Now, our first example will be, let's take a set A, and it has element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now set A has element. Now let's represent this set with another alphabet because we have used already A. Let it be capital letter B. Okay. Now see here, this is another example of set. Let there be set B which has element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now what is the property of the element? If you focus here, you can see all these elements are natural number. Okay. And that is not enough. Okay, because in set there are not these are only limited number of natural numbers. Okay, all the natural numbers are not present in this set. There are only five natural numbers. Okay, so first property will be these are all natural number. Okay, then we have to put the restriction because all the natural numbers are not present. The natural numbers are present here are only less than six. Okay, so we have to write that is as well. Okay, now how we will write this? Same procedure as above we have used. B is the set. Now let's represent this set using another variable. Let it be M. Let it be M. Now we have represented all the elements of the set by using the letter M. Okay. Now M is the element. M is the element of B. Okay. Such that M is a natural number. M is a natural number. Okay, but this is not enough because all the natural numbers are not present in the set. So we have to fulfill all the restrictions. Okay, now M is a natural number and M is less than 6. Okay, this will be the complete answer of the this will be the complete set builder form for the given set. Okay, we have to write complete. If we ignore this part, if we erase this part, then it is not complete. Okay, now what we have written, M is the element of B such that M is a natural number. M is a natural number means there can be any number of natural number in the set. Okay, but in here we have only five natural numbers. Okay, so we have to put the restriction in the set. Okay, such that it defines these all elements. Okay, so for that we have used M is a natural number less than less than 6. Okay, this will be the complete set builder form for the given set. Okay. Now we will go for the next example. Let's say there is a set C. Okay. Now it has 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay. Now it has elements 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay. There are only again five elements. But if you see carefully, these are natural number. Okay. But there are elements missing. Like between 1 and 3, there is 2 is a natural number which is missing, and 4 is a natural number which is also missing, and there is a 6 is also a natural number which is missing. Similarly, 8 is also missing. Okay. These natural numbers are missing. If you see the property, these are natural number, but more specifically, these are odd natural numbers. These are, what are this? These are odd natural numbers, okay? And which are less than 10, okay? So we have to write this. C is the set. Let's denote it, let's denote all the elements using letter N, okay? N is the element of set C such that N is a odd natural number, odd natural number less than less than 10. Okay, these are odd natural numbers. Okay, but we have to put the restriction. What is the restriction? That all the natural numbers are less than 10. Okay, so we have to write that also. So we have written is C is the set, given that N is the element of set C such that N is a odd number less than 10 and is a natural odd natural number less than 10. Okay, this will be the complete set form for the given set C. Okay, now we will move to the next example. Now we will move to the next example. What will be example? Okay, let me see. Now let's write a let's first write a set builder form. For example, I'm giving a set builder form. Set D, and set D is a x is an element of D such that x is an integer. What is x? X is an integer. That means all the element in the D is an integer. Okay, and x is less than 7 but greater than or equal to minus 3. Okay, x is an integer and x is less than 7 but greater than or equal to minus 3. So this is the set D. Okay, now in this case what has given, set is given but in the set builder form is given. Okay, now this is the question. Now set builder form is given. Now what we will do, we will write roster form, we will write. Okay, so how to write roster form? Okay, now simply we can see, we can read this out that x is an integer. Okay, so x is an integer, so other than integer there won't be any element here. Okay, now there is a condition given here. Okay, what is the condition? Condition is given that the element x is less than 7. Okay, that means element will be 6, 5, 4, 3. All those elements will be in the set, but x is greater than or equal to minus 3. That means the element, all the elements in the set D, all the elements in the set D will be less than 7 and greater than or equal to minus 3, and also all the element will be an integer. Okay, so if you write set D, so greater than or equal to minus 3, that means minus 3 will be there because here it is greater than or equal to, x is greater than or equal to minus 3. Okay, so minus 3 will be also there. So minus 3, which is greater than minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, 7. Okay, but 7 will not be there. Why 7 will not be there? Because here is x is less than 7, not equal to 7. Okay, here x is only less than 7. So we have to delete 7. Okay, we have to remove 7. So up to 6 will be the element here. Okay, so what are the elements? Elements is minus 3. Elements are minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now elements will be, now these are all the elements in the roster form. Okay. Okay. So these are the three examples we have used in this for the discussion of roster form and set builder form. Okay. Now we will see some other examples. We will see some other examples. Uh, let's say, let me take an example. Let me take another example. Now, A is the set. Now, in that there is elements 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, dot, 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 dot. Okay, it goes on. Okay, there are infinite numbers of elements. Okay, now what is happening? What is given? Given is 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. All these elements are given in this set. Now, how to write set builder form? Okay, now A is the set such that A is the set given that we have to assume a variable. Let's use X. Okay, now X is the element of set A such that now all these numbers you can see here all these numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. Okay, the property here is that every element is a square of natural number. Okay, this one is actually one can be written as 1 square, and this 4 can be written as 2 square, this 9 can be written as 3 square, this 16 can be written as 4 square, this 25 can be written as 5 square. Okay, now you can see here all these elements are actually squares of natural numbers. Okay, these are squares of natural number. Okay, now 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, and 5 square, and goes on. So next element will be basically 36. After that, the element will be 49. Okay, that is 6 square and 7 square. Okay, now all these elements are square of natural number, so we can just write it as x is a square of natural number. X is a square of natural number. Okay, this is more than enough. Okay, x is a square of natural number. All the elements are the square of natural number. Okay, so this is the cerebral form for the given roster form. Okay, now this is not the only way we can write a cerebral form. Okay, now we can use a different method, or you can say different way. We can formulate the given elements. Okay, how to formulate the given element? Now we can see these elements are 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. Okay. Now we can write this as commonly for all the elements, commonly we can write it as n square. We can write it as n square because all the elements are in this form, okay, are in the form of n square. And we can say that n is a natural number. Okay. So we can rewrite the cerebral form as x is the element such that x is equals to n square because all the elements are in this form, are in the form of n square. Okay, why I said n square? Now why I have taken n? Because this is the variable thing. Okay, this number is varying. Okay, and the square is same for all the elements. Now this is varying, this base is varying. Okay, now we have denoted the base using this n. Okay, we have represented the base using this n. Now what we will do, we will put the restriction on n, but there is no need to put the restriction because the only restriction will be n is a natural number. N is a natural number. N is the natural number. Okay. Now we don't have to put any other restriction because this goes on. This elements goes on. Okay. So there is no restriction for limiting the elements. Okay. The only restriction will be all these numbers. What are these numbers? These numbers are natural number. So we have to write that also that n is a natural number. Okay. Now, now, now here we can write this. Now we can more simplify this set filter form. How we can simplify this? Now A is the element, A is the set, X is the element of A such that X is equals to n square. No, we can use the symbol belongs to in place of this whole sentence. So we will write n belongs to natural number. Okay, this is also a way to write set filter form. What we have done here is x is a natural number. For this case, what we have done is we have written this n belongs to natural number. Okay, because what is this n? This n is a natural number. Okay, this natural number. So we have directly written the n belongs to natural number in place of this whole sentence. Okay, so we can use this also to simply write the separate form. Okay, so either you write this sentence or you can directly write this. Okay, so I prefer this one. So I will use this only. Okay. Simply writing a sentence is time waste of time. So we can directly use the symbol here. Okay. So this is the way to write a sentence. Okay. Now we have discussed here four examples. We will see more examples in the next video. Okay. Okay. Thank you.